Yes, I'm wearing the green shirt, which means that we are continuing today our Task A essay that we've been working on over the last couple weeks. If you haven't watched the first two parts of this series, the prompt analysis and plan and the introduction, then make sure you go watch those ones first. I'll link them up here. But yeah, today we are going to continue the essay, and we're going to do so by writing the first body paragraph in my argumentative style essay that I do. So the essay, the theme is on technology, and yeah, I'm excited to get back into it. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Kate Robson, and I scored 80 in Section 2 of the GAMSAT in the 2021 March sitting. And since then, I've just been making videos trying to help you guys to be able to do the same, because I think that's pretty important. If you want to be a doctor, you deserve a good shot. So subscribe if you're new here, like this video if you do enjoy this content, so I know that I should keep making this series, and I will. The thing I was struggling with last time in the introduction was the thesis and making sure that I have a clear argument that I'm going with, and I developed it into it being technology has immense potential, but so long as it does not change the human essence, our status as free conscious beings, its potential will be limited to the essence unto which we provided the human essence. That's a bit confusing, so I think I'm going to develop that a little bit more. But essentially, my idea for this essay overall is that my thesis is going to be that I don't think technology is going to be able to change what it means to be human unless it completely takes those senses away. Like, to feel, to think. I think those parts of being human are just inherently human. And if technology takes those away, we can no longer be called humans, because that's what defines our species. I guess that's kind of my thesis. Perhaps that's a little bit more developed. There certainly are counter arguments to that, like, are we humans because of our bodies, or are we humans because of our minds? Or does it have to be a sum of the two parts that are what makes us human? It's actually kind of an interesting discussion. Sometimes it just takes a week to develop your idea. But yeah, so today we're going to write the first body paragraph, and the first part that I wanted to talk about in terms of that thesis is how technology has changed a lot of things. It's changed mostly our social structures, I think, the way that we operate, the things that we rely on, pretty much everything that we do in the world now. And it started with the Industrial Revolution, mostly at least. So I think I'm going to talk about that in terms of the Western world, how the Industrial Revolution and the technology that was invented with that, like the steam engine and things like that, that kind of like were the spark for making technology the backbone of modern society, and how that's changed the world and how we operate now. So I want to talk about the fact that technology has done a lot, and it probably will continue to, and I'll talk about history a little bit and my knowledge of that. Just talking about the potentials for technology. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'll kind of like break it down with you guys. I'll write bit by bit, but yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I do is I write my topic sentence, or like the point of the paragraph. I try and be like fairly simple with these and try and just focus on clarity instead of sounding smart, because I think like that has not served me well in the past. So I'm going to write a clear topic sentence. By the way, I'll just do a quick plug here. If you do want some more help with your Task A structure and how to actually write an argumentative style essay and score highly in Section 2 in both Task A and Task B, I'm running an online course. It's actually all available now for you to purchase and work through. If you're not enrolled already, click the link in the video description below and consider signing up, because it hopefully will really help you with your essays. That's the plug. Back to the essay. So the topic sentence I think I'll start with today is just about how technology has really changed our world that we live in, particularly, yeah, I guess the world that we live in, mostly the Western world. But the Eastern world now too, it's kind of taking over. So I suppose I'll start talking about that. Okay, I think I've kind of written like an extended topic sentence. I try and explain the point of my paragraph first before I bring in an example, just to make sure that it's very clear that what my argument is. So what I've written is technology has changed the world that we live in. The social structures of contemporary Western societies have been founded around the capabilities of technology to serve and assist us with a range of tasks. Technology has embedded itself so deeply within our everyday lives that on a macro scale, it has significantly sped up the rate of productivity and our capabilities as a species. And on an individual level, it has changed the structure of our social relationships and the methods by which we complete our everyday tasks. So it's kind of like a long topic sentence, but it's okay. Sometimes I suppose it's longer than others. I just try and focus on like forming the argument clearly first before I bring in an example. So now I will bring in an example, and my example is going to be, the Industrial Revolution. I could have gone and chose like an example of how technology is deeply embedded in our everyday lives now, and expanded on those things. But I think I would like to explore why it has formed the backbone of our society, and I think that in terms of Western democratic societies, the Industrial Revolution is kind of to blame. So, alrighty, I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but I've kind of written most of the paragraph now. It's probably approaching the finish line in terms of this paragraph, but I think I'll add a couple extra things. So what I've written here, I've probably written like, in terms of the Peel structure, like the PEE, plus a counter argument. So I've like tried to expand on how my example explains the argument that I've raised, which is that technology has changed the world that we live in. I'll just read out what I've got. I just wrote, the Industrial Revolution was the catalyst for the formation of a new social life for humans living in Western democratic societies in the late 19th century, changing everything from where the majority of the British population lived, with most moving from the country into the city for work, to the importance of the family unit. The invention of the steam engine sparked a new era, sparking... Oh, that's repetition. Realizing new potentials for the human species to be able to move around and trade goods and services locally, and the increasing size of social circles within Europe. These new potentials quickly spread across the globe and unleashed the new age, the age of technology. Maybe like that of technology is nicer. Contemporary Western societies have developed out of these potentials, developing these technologies to assist us with any task, from seeing a relative who lives overseas to solar-powered cars and technological chips to solve neural pathologies. Certainly, and now this is where I go into a little counter-argument, one's experience with technology is heavily dependent on where one lives, the political freedom of one's society, and any other cultural or religious restrictions. But the majority of the West, and now the East, is heavily reliant on technology for social progress, communication, and everyday tasks. And then, I don't know how great this sentence is. This probably shows my lack of cultural sensitivity, I suppose. But I've said even Xi Jinping, leader of one of the most communist countries of the modern world, strongly believes industrialization is the way forward. Which is kind of inaccurate in a sentence, because China has I think believed in industrialization for a while as the way forward for their nation. So perhaps me saying even him believing that it is the way forward is like kind of assumptive. I just wanted to kind of throw in a way of acknowledging that even like traditional, maybe not traditional, but maybe non-Western countries that are not focused on like social progress and productivity, like within the capitalist system, even communist countries are seeing that as well. Maybe I'll just change my wording slightly just to make it a bit more like culturally sensitive and accurate. But I suppose this is a good example of just making sure that your statements are accurate and saying what you actually want to say, and kind of questioning your own assumptions. Okay. Modern world. An ideology absolved of the productive forces of Western capitalist societies. Perhaps that works. Probably could develop it a bit more. Let me know below in the comments what you think, and the accuracy of that statement. I'd be willing to listen and change it. But anyway, we move on. So I've kind of like done my analysis. I've tried to prove that technology has changed the world we live in. Perhaps I could add, like, maybe expand a little bit more, and just with something a bit more casual, maybe like we sleep. I sleep next to my phone. Surely the common habit of individuals sleeping next to their phone is enough to prove that technology is really changing how we live, how we operate, and live our daily lives. Okay, cool. And then I'll probably just finish it with like a linking sentence, something that will lead me on to my next paragraph. I followed just like the simple peel structure because it does the job. And I might say something like, so my next paragraph is going to be about how I don't think it, although it has changed everything, it won't change the essence of what it means to be human. Okay. Surely the common habit of sleeping. Surely the common habit of, and now live our daily lives. But I don't know, I don't like starting sentences with but. But will it change who we are? Who we are in our essence? I'll leave it. It's good for now. I feel iffy about using but to start sentences, but you can, I suppose. Just in terms of sentence structure, it's like not the greatest, but I can't really think of anything else that I want to say right now. So yeah, that's a work in progress. But that's essentially my body paragraph 1. I'm pretty happy with it. It was actually kind of easy to write in the end. I think because I've got a fairly solid understanding of the Industrial Revolution and technology and stuff. So yeah, I hope that helped. I hope you took something from that, learned how I at least write my body paragraphs, and that it helps you write better ones yourself. Obviously, we don't know what kind of mark this essay would get. I struggle to mark my own essays because it's just like so subjective. I struggle to be objective with my own essays. But yeah, I mean, this is what has come from me. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think of it, where this is going, and how you would improve it or change it or anything. I appreciate your feedback, really, I do. It seems like you guys are liking this series, so I hope you like this video, and I hope you can't wait for the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you for the next video very soon.
So girls, move it around. If you see your main dog, get the brother a pound and just come on, just breathe, stop, for real, and give it what you got, just